Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another ClanGen video. We're still having issues with MintmossClan 1, but we're back with year 2 of the new MintmossClan. This year had some drama towards the end of the year, which involved a few deaths, so we have an event this year. But for now, let's get into our first StarClan cat. First up, Shining Kit. Shining Kit was 3 moons when he died and is currently 7 moons in death. He is an attention seeker and is interested in the dark forest. He would have gone there due to his interest, but he hasn't done anything malicious. And I don't send kits to the DF regardless, as they don't get much time to do anything before being apprentices. Shining Kit is one of the kits in Flailkick and Turbostep's litter, and died to an unknown predator. The clan thinks it was a fox or something during the night, but who knows? With his attention-seeker trait, I imagine he left the camp to tie and purposely get into trouble to get the clan's attention, and actually died, which is sad. There are more StarClan cats, but the next 4 cats died at the same time, so we have our event. Flailkick and his patrol made up of himself. Stromfreeze, Olenderpaw, Tinnapaw and Shadowmask were patrolling rather deep into MintmossClan territory. The patrol tensed at the sound of crackling undergrowth and froze. Suddenly, a startling yowl sounded from a nearby bush, and the patrol was attacked by a group of rogues. Flailkick didn't get much of a chance to say anything before he was killed by a cream marble Tom who had slit his throat, causing Flailkick to fall to the ground. Dead, Olenderpaw hissed when his mentor died and lunged to help his mentor, but was quickly killed by a blue tabby she-cat. The she-cat had pinned him down and dug her claws into his belly, biting his throat. Tinnapaw let out a hiss before darting towards Shadowmask. Shadowmask hissed at the rogues to leave the territory, glaring hatchel at the cream-marbled cat. The cream cat hissed at Shadowmask. Leave? No, I'd rather stay a while. Your deputy is dead, Shadowmask. Perhaps you should run home and tell Robinstar about me. Unless you want to die as well, Velvet Shimmer taunted. Shadowmask hissed at him, her tail lashing angrily. Get out of MintmossClan territory, Velvet Shimmer, or we'll kill the lot of you. 2 of your rogues are already dead. We can kill the rest of you, as well for trespassing. Get out, she demanded, digging her claws into the rogue that was pinned under her, causing the rogue to wince in pain. Velvet Shimmer laughed coldly, lashing his tail. Ha, you can try. We've killed Flailkick and that apprentice. Do you really think we won't kill you 3 as well? He snarled at Shadowmask as she killed the rogue under her paws. I'll say it again, get out of our territory. Velvet Shimmer, you had your chance to be loyal to us, but you killed Rhymestar and Larkspurstripe. You're a traitor and a murderer. So, leave now before I kill you myself. Stormfreeze, take Tinnapaw home and warn Robinstar. Go quickly, she warned. Velvet Shimmer smirked and flicked his tail at 2 of the rogues. One of the rogues lunged at Tinnapaw, pinning him down. Tinnapaw was prepared for this and slashed the rogue's ear and face. Drawing blood, the rogue hissed and fell backwards, blinding by pain. Stormfreeze quickly jumped in to help Tinnapaw, but was pinned down by the same blue tabby who had killed Olenderpaw. The 2 she-cats tussled for a bit before they killed each other. Tinnapaw hissed with grief as he watched his mentor die, unable to do anything but watch as another rogue had pinned him down. Stormfreeze, Tinnapaw, Shadowmask hissed worriedly. She lunged at the rogue who had Tinnapaw pinned, but was intercepted by Velvet Shimmer, who snarled at her. His eyes glittered with a mix of hatred and sadness. She didn't get time to think before Velvet Shimmer lunged at her. She rolled Velvet Shimmer away SB. She could turn back to Tinnapaw, but the apprentice was dead. Shadowmask hissed with concern. She saw Velvet Shimmer suddenly yelped with pain, ready for another attack. Claws rake her his side. Claws dripping with new blood. Meeting his eyes, Shadowmask hissed. Ignoring her pain, the cream Tom spat at her, his eyes still glittering with sadness and perhaps guilt. Velvet Shimmer flicked his side with his tail, glancing weakly at the blue tabby. What was the tabby to him that he seemingly cared about her? Velvet Shimmer quickly realized she was watching him and turned back to Herm, though his expression said everything. She didn't even have to ask before he spoke. Santana, my mate, you killed her. Mate, that's what they were, mates. The blue tabby that Stormfreeze killed was Velvet Shimmer's mate, and now it would cost Shadowmask her life. Or did it? Stumbling forward, Shadowmask hissed at Velvet Shimmer. Get out before I kill you, Velvet Shimmer. Now, she warned before walking towards the MintmossClan camp. So yeah, Velvetshimmer led an attack against Flailkick's patrol and killed majority of the patrol except Shadowmask, but we'll get into that later. On to the cats that died in that patrol, starting with Flailkick. Next up, Flailkick. Flailkick was 68 moons in life and is currently 1 moon in death. Flailkick is the father of Shining Kit and his siblings. Flailkick, as well as a few other cats coming up, were killed by a group of rogues lingering in the clan's territory with intent. Flailkick had led the patrol to check the border was ambushed by the rogues. Flailkick was the first cat killed. Earlier this year, Flailkick became mates with Turbostep, and the pair had a litter of 3 kits. I have unfortunate news for this family, which we'll get into later. Flailkick was the deputy before he died, and seemed rather concerned about his replacement. Next up, Olenderpaw. Olenderpaw was 10 moons in life and is currently 1 moon in death, due to him dying at 10 moons old. I gave him his warrior name, which is Olenderbranch, which definitely fits his personality. Olenderbranch was killed by one of Velvetshimmer's rogues. He tried to fight them off, and did actually hurt the rogue that attacked him, but was too young to fight him off. Olenderpaw was apprenticed to Flailkick. Olenderpaw didn't like his mentor that much, unfortunately. Next up, Stormfreeze. Stormfreeze was 25 moons in life and is currently 1 moon in death. She was killed by the rogue Santana. At the same time, Santana was killed by Stormfreeze. Stormfreeze was doing really well this year. She was leading patrols left and right, and even got praised by Flailkick and Robinstar a few times when on hunting patrols. She even got an apprentice this year with Tinnapaw. She was doing so well this year, and I'm so proud of her and will miss her. Why did she have to die so soon? Next up, Tinnapaw. Tinnapaw was 10 moons in life and is currently 1 moon in death. Same case, I gave her warrior name, which is Tinnatuft, with her having medium-length fur. It fits well. It also fits with the fact that she is a restless sleeper, so I can just her constantly having tiny tufts of fur sticking up on her face when she rolls over in her sleep, giving her a sort-offed head, look which is so cute. I tried to replicate it into her design. So how do you think I did? It was such a shame to see her go. I quite liked how she was coming along plot-wise. Next up, Gulpaw. Gulpaw, now known as Gullfeather, was 10 moons old when he died, and is currently 0 moons in death. Gullfeather was killed by Yellowcough, alongside 2 other cats. Gullfeather was apprenticed to Dixie, whom we'll get onto later. Gullfeather started training as a mediator this year, which makes sense considering he had Theckwick to make peace skill. Gullfeather was another one of Flailkick and Turbostep's kits. Gullfeather didn't do much this year. He was sad to see Shining Kit and Flailkick die this year, and missed them greatly. He was the first cat to die to Yellowcough this year. Next up, Shadowmask. Shadowmask was 37 moons when she died, and is currently 0 moons in death. Shadowmask died from not only Yellowcough, but her injuries received from Velvetshimmer as well. She received serious injuries from the exiled warrior, and didn't get enough time to start healing before Yellowcough knocked and said hello. While the med cat tried to do what she could for her, Shadowmask died quickly. She was the second cat to die from Yellowcough this year. Onto our last cat, Swanpaw, newly named. Swansight was 10 moons when he died, and is currently 0 moons in death. He was the last cat to die this year, and was the last cat to die from Yellowcough. Thankfully, he was one of the few cats to get sick, and the 4 cats that got it and died were the only cats to get it. Swanpaw was apprenticed to Creamfern. Swansight did sadly join the Dark Forest for a little bit, but was caught by his mentor, who was also in the DF, and was quickly convinced not to continue visiting, which spared his fate. If he was still visiting the DF by the time he died, I would have sent him to the DF sadly. Now on to our living cats. First up, Robinstar. Robinstar is currently 114 moons old and has 1 life remaining. She lost 8 of her lives to Yellowcough this year. I know, right? She was already in a bad ship from the end of year 1, and the stress from Rhymestar and Larkspurstripe's deaths, as well as the sudden pressure of leading a rowdy clan caused her to get sick and get it bad. While she was the last cat to get sick, she got it the worst, losing almost all of her lives. In-game, She did actually get yellow cough, but only lost 1 life but in canon. I rolled to see how many lives she lost, which was 8. She might die officially, next year guys. Robin Star actually became mates with Freeze Silk this year, and had a litter of 2 kits. On to our deputy, Creamfern. Creamfern is currently 43 moons old, and is still rather young, but has enough acne to be a good deputy, which he has so far proven to be. He better not pull a tiger claw or a scarlet plume. Regardless, he was given Swansight as his apprentice. He was swayed to join the DF, and did train there for a little bit, but eventually came to regret it and leave, not wanting to end up like Velvet Shimmer. He was shocked when he saw both Hopkit and Swanpo in the DF, and tried to convince both of them to leave it. Swansight listened, though Hopkit was not as easily convinced. It got to the point that Hopkit considered Creamfern a threat to his plans, and reported him to Privetbite, who trapped him in the DF in sleep, but ill. Continue that in a little bit. Next up, Freeze Silk. Freeze Silk is currently 84 moons old and is not doing good right now. She is grieving for her first litter of kits, Tinnituft and Olander Branch. Robin Star has tried to comfort her, but between the trouble with Yellow Cough, Velvet Shimmer, and her own leadership issues, Robin Star hasn't been able to comfort her mate much. Freeze Silk did train an apprentice this year, though, the apprentice being Hopkit. She is aware of what Hopkit has been doing in his dreams, but hasn't been able to do much as of late. I hope Freeze Silk gets better soon so she can take care of her second litter of kits, though the 2 are adopted. Next up, the affiliator of Heck himself. I hope I used that word right. Hopkit, newly named Hoppatch, is currently 17 moons old. Hoppatch trained as a medicine cat under Freeze Silk. This character, I tell you, his lore is rather dramatic, I swear. Like Kestrelkit from Jade Clan, Hopkit was swayed into the dark forest by Privetbite. She lured him into the DF, and manipulated him into joining her and helping her, which he was too young to think any different. She convinced him to become a medicine cat so she could help him, which he willingly agreed to. In doing so, this caused him to shut out StarClan in his strong trust of Privetbite. Let's just say this one small mistake caused a lot of problems. On to our next event. A small orange kit woke up in a starry sky. The young kit blinked widely, looking around with shock. He turned to at the sound of his name, but didn't see any cat, just a misty forest of darkness. Out of curiosity, Hopkit followed the voice that continued to call his name. Stumbling towards to voice, he tripped over a tree root into the paws of an orange she-cat. The kit squeaked with fear, and looking up at the fluffy she-cat stared at him, a comforting smile on her face. He asked who she was, to which the she-cat said her name was Privetbite, and that she was a StarClan warrior. He gasped with joy and purred softly, standing before her. The fluffy she-cat purred as well and placed her paw gently on his head, brushing his head playfully. Hopkit asked if she had a message for him from StarClan, to which the she-cat nodded, a smile on her face. "Oh, yes, little one, I do have a message for you. You need to listen carefully and not tell anyone about this, okay?" she said firmly. Hopkit nodded quickly, eager to hear what she was going to say. Purring, Privetbite spoke again. "Listen carefully, Hopkit. Once you start your apprenticeship, you need to ask Freeze Silk and Robin Star to make you a medicine cat, okay? I can't help guide you if you don't, okay?" Hopkit nodded firmly, a determined look on his face. Privetbite stifled a laugh as she looked at him, instead purring. She said that she was proud of him and that he had to make sure he became a medicine cat apprentice, otherwise she wouldn't be able to guide him. "I promise, Privetbite, I won't let you down," Hopkit squeaked fiercely, earning a proud smile from Privetbite. "Good, I'll make sure you don't." Hoppa woke up in the gloomy forest again, looking around eagerly for his mentor, Privetbite. He had been training with the dark forest she-cat since he became an apprentice, and as tough as her training was, he enjoyed it. She gave him a purpose instead of stupid clan training. A crackle of undergrowth startled the young Tom from his thoughts. Turning to look behind him, he brightened when he saw Privetbite. She purred when she saw him and touched her nose to his like a mentor would to their apprentice. She welcomed him back for another training session, but said she had something important to tell him. She explained the exile Tom, Velvet Shimmer, and asked if Hoppo had heard of him, which the Tom nodded. She purred with approval and told him to meet with the Tom every quarter moon to establish plans she gave them in the day and train with her at night. Turning to a nearby bush, Privet Bite called him over. A cream-marbled Tom padded out of the bush and towards him. He nodded respectfully to Privet Bite and turning to face Hoppaw. He introduced himself as Velvet Shimmer and touched noses to Hoppaw. Hoppaw nodded respectfully to the older Tom and said his name was Hoppaw. Enough, we have business to discuss. Now Hoppaw, I trust your training has been going well, she asked sternly. Hoppaw nodded quickly. Of course, Privet Bite, as much as I hate her, Freezesulk is a decent teacher. I know enough herbs to help out with the actual plan now, the young Tom said proudly. Privet Bite purred joyfully. Good to hear. As for you, Velvet Shimmer, how is your group coming along? Are they ready for the attack? Velvet Shimmer nodded confidently. Yes, Privet Bite, I've informed them as you asked. And Santana has been watching the patrol schedules like you asked me to tell her. Privet Bite purred with approval. Good. Hoppatch knew that he wasn't the only MintmossClan cat in the dark forest. He'd seen Creamfern and Swanpaw were both training as well. Speaking of, he overheard Creamfern warning Swanpaw to stay out of the dark forest, and that he was going to do the same. Padding out of his hiding spot and towards the cats, Hoppatch glared at Creamfern. What are you doing, Creamfern? Hoppatch said, carefully implying a threat towards Creamfern, without warning Swanpaw. Not thinking of leaving, are you? I am, as should you. You know what Privet Bite did when she was alive. You have to leave her ranks. Hoppatch, Creamfern started but was interrupted by a hiss from Hoppatch. So I see. Swanpaw, please leave us, Hoppatch said to the apprentice, which Swanpaw nodded and patted away. Once the apprentice left, Hoppatch spoke again. Do you really think you can leave freely? After how much information you've given Privet Bite, do you really think she, or I will let you leave? He turned his head to glare at Creamfern with glittering cobalt eyes. You can't leave, Creamfern, not without a price. Remember that. You can wake up now, but don't think I won't tell, Privet Bite. Next up, Dixie. Dixie is currently 124 moons old. She was formerly a loner that joined the clan with mediating knowledge in exchange for a safe place to live, which Robinstar agreed to, so she is now the clan's mediator. She has a burn scar on her lower back, which I imagine caused her to seek safety with the clan. She started training Gulpaw when he was old enough and was proud to be his mentor, even though it was a short period of time. She granted his name, Gullfeather, in honor of the magpie feather he gave her when he started training, which is so cute. I hope she gets better soon and decides to retire. Next up, Turbostep. Oh, Turbostep. Turbostep is currently 69 moons old and is currently grieving. Can you guess why? Remember when we were talking about Flailkick and I said I had bad news for this family? Yeah, well, not only is Turbostep getting up in age, but her mate and sons are dead, which means that Turbostep is currently the last living member of the Turbo Flail line and will die out once Turbostep dies. Which no, ClanGen, why? I love this family so much. Both me and Turbo were looking forward to Shining, Gull and Swan having a mate and kits each, but now they're all dead. I doubt Turbostep will take another mate before she dies. She does currently have an apprentice, though. Next up, Minkblaze. Minkblaze is currently 34 moons old and is the youngest warrior in the clan right now. Minkblaze currently has an apprentice as well. She was surprised when Robinstar gave her an apprentice, but didn't object, gladly accepting the apprentice. She hopes to be a good mentor to the apprentice. Minkblaze is currently grieving for Velvet Shimmer, believe it or not. She had a massive crush on him and still does, and felt terrible when he killed Flailstreak and his patrol. I feel so bad for her. Next up, Limepaw. Limepaw is currently 10 moons old. He was apprenticed to Minkblaze. Limepaw enjoys training with his mentor, though he constantly argues with her, earning punishment which he just scoffs at. Limepaw scares me because he is bloodthirsty, so I feel he'd snap at his clanmates often and claw at his mentor, Minkblaze, or his brother, Magpapaw, often. Limepaw despises his dad for seemingly abandoning them when their mother died, though his brother tries to tell him otherwise. I'm worried for this guy's future in the clan. I hope he doesn't start killing people out of anger and neglect. Next up, Magpapaw. Magpapaw is currently 10 moons old. He was apprenticed to Turbostep. Magpapaw enjoys training with his mentor. He still misses his mother, Shadowstreak, and feels his dad sees too much of her in his kits and has started to ignore his kits. Magpapa doesn't necessarily blame Creamfern or ignore his kits, as he is the new deputy, but he still feels bad and is angry at his dad, or at least he knows his brother is. I can't wait to see his full name. Next up, Okit. Okit is currently 0 moons old and is in the medicine den with her mama, Freeze Silk. Okit sort of resembles her Freeze Silk in appearance, though she takes after her mum, Robin Star personality-wise. Okit and her sister were adopted by Freeze Silk and Robin Star in game. But story-wise, I might just make Okit and Crouchkit the bio kits of Freeze Silk and a helping loner. I can't wait to see Okit when she grows up. On to our last clan cat, Crouchkit. Crouchkit is currently 0 moons old and is also with Freeze Silk in the medicine den. Crouchkit looks more like her bio dad, though the father isn't in the picture, and only helped out so Robin Freeze could have kits together. Crouchkit is a skittish kit. Why are both of these kits on the introvert scale? I mean, Robin Star is, but come on bro. I might change her prefix eventually, but I'm not sure. Now on to the cats outside of the clan. Next up, Mako. Mako was 33 moons in life and is currently 2 moons in death. She was formerly a kit-typed that was killed by Velvet Shimmer and Santana after she taunted them about their plan to attack MintmossClan. She had scorned them, saying that they were stupid fools to worry about the clan cats, and even dumber to think they could ever take the clan down. Velvet Shimmer got really ticked off at this, and even angrier when he found out that Mako had blabbed to Privet Bite about something. Next up, Santana. Santana was 31 moons in life and is currently 1 moon in death. She was a rogue that was killed by Stormfreeze mid-battle. She died when she and Stormfreeze killed one another. Despite rogues not usually having mates or kits, Santana did become mates with Velvet Shimmer shortly before her death, which broke Velvet Shimmer. She didn't have kits, though I might make an AU kits video when I draw non-canon couples of kits that didn't get to mates and or have kits. On to our last cat, Velvet Shimmer. Velvet Shimmer is currently 34 moons old. He is grieving after his mate's death and feels guilty that Santana died because of him. He straight up left the Darl Forest, leaving Hoppatch and Privet Bite to their own devices, too caught up in his grief to care. Velvet Shimmer killed Flailkick and partially Shadowstreak, though she died from Yellow Cough as well. He is starting to regret his actions of killing Larkspur Stripe and Rhymestar, and then getting that patrol killed as well. I hope he changes his mind and starts trying to redeem himself. He definitely has a shot at redeeming himself if his guilt clouds his mind. Makes me feel kind of bad for this guy. Well, that's it for this video. It wasn't too dramatic, but that's bad sign, so I'm scared for next year. ClanGen has given me trust issues. Whenever I think something is okay, or if I get attached to a specific cat, ClanGen literally looks at me and goes, "Oh, you think so? Nah, sorry. Plus causes problems plus, and I get sad over it. Like, you can't tell me the ClanGen gods weren't mad at me during Big Clan Year 2 and Jade Clan Year 3. Bro, what? Anyway, like I said, if you want it, I can make a Hypo Kits AU couple video. Just let me know if you have ship ideas for this. Thanks for watching this video, bye.